Next speaker is Frank Matthews. Ms. Matthews, state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
I just heard those tongues. Frank Matthews, 2272 Ledgewood Lane. I was glad to hear all those tongues when the councilman was here speaking, and I was so glad that Councilwoman Abbott took the lead in saying that we should go a step further. I'm here to speak against toy guns, but they're not a game, and I want to pass the paper out, and it has 5 guns on it. One of them is fake. Each one of you councilmen will look at it, take a pencil, and put by your name, your initials, and the number of what gun you think is fake. If y'all would pass that around before my 3 minutes is up. Here's an article from Channel 12 in Montgomery, Alabama, that talks about Alabama ranked in the top 5 as relates to deaths and violent acts with toy guns. Law enforcement from Jefferson County issued a statement, ABC 3340, that says toy guns becoming a growing concern at area schools. This is the pivotal second day of the Montgomery boycott that was initiated in 1955. Now, there are some Goliath laws out there, and as we talk about eliminating toy guns in Birmingham first in America, you're going to pontificate and say a lot about the law. The law, federal law, changed where many of you can sit in these seats. So we're not going to fear that Goliath. I'm setting myself as a little David to carry his little brother some food, and when he got down, they start criticizing, you come to see the battle? No, he came to bring them some food, because the giants do fall. And I'm on my way to Cleveland to meet with some legislators up there that's proposing legislation, but it would be great if Birmingham would speak. Now, I was honored that the chairman of the Public Safety Committee went against protocol and allowed us to speak, a number of us that came in yesterday, and he somewhat not ordered, but he asked Attorney Bernard to look at what the city ordinance. And there are some issues with our city ordinances, and there are some rooms in there where we can do a lot of things to address the issue of dangerous toy guns. My challenge to America will be moving towards a gunless society, hopefully for the 22nd and 23rd century. But you know what really got me more so than anything and all that I found is that of all countries, Mexican government asks kids to turn in toy guns to foster a culture of peace. And that's what I would like to see America move towards. And I think it starts with our toddlers in the grave and little babies. And I don't want to hear about what adults can do and can't do. These kids are their own adults. They run around where I live in the neighborhood. They're in the country with pellet guns and BB guns, shooting them at will. And there are laws on the book. So I'm here again on the second day of the Montgomery boycott, because what we've been unable to get through legislation, we've gotten through boycott as it relates to African American. One of the greatest tools we ever used was the boycott. And when these corporations, these manufacturers that manufacture these toys that kill, the power of boycott can stand to the forefront and take on the challenge. I'm for a toy gunless Birmingham. What say you? Now again, I don't know if y'all was Pentecostal or what. I heard a lot of speaking in tongues as it relates to something that's singled as a cooler. But we talking about toy guns. They're getting our children hurt. They get them expelled from schools. So before I go, could I have that paper that you guys looked at the gun? I want to see how many of you was able to do what the police couldn't do, what little Mr. Rice was unable to determine. And I took a picture, and I had a gun on, again, 3340, and I challenged people to enlarge it to tell what kind of gun Frank Matthews had. Was it toy or was it fake? They're hard. Could I have my paper, Mr. Mayor? How you doing, sir? Let me see.
Can you wrap it up? Your time is up.
It's wrapped up. Well,
Which one
only one person got it. Jonathan Austin, number 4. See how hard it is to distinguish what's real and what's not? Birmingham, wow, it's time to have a gunless society, and we can start with toy guns. Thank you very much.
Mr. Pro Tem.
Mr. Matthews, I'm going to speak to you as a parent of a 14-year-old daughter, a 12-year-old son, and a 6-year-old daughter. I don't want to purchase a toy gun, to even give them the opportunity to see what it's like to have a gun in their possession or in their hand. I say that to say, because we got kids here from Ramsey High School today, and your efforts are greatly appreciated. Because once you share a toddler a toy gun of any kind, it gives them the mindset of wanting to utilize it in some form or fashion on down the road. And as a proponent and as an outspoken person for our youth and nonviolence, I commend you on your efforts and will support you in your efforts. That's something we definitely need to look at. I don't want them in my house, a toy or a regular gun.
That's right.
Period. Just for the safety of not only my family, but for citizens in this community. So I will help you support and champion this need. I know you're a great advocate in this community for things of this nature. But this is one proponent that even came up in our discussions at the Jefferson County Family Court with Chief Roper, representative from Sheriff Hale's office. What does a student do if they know that a child has a gun in the school? Do they snitch? Is there a program, a system in place to report it without being known or anonymous? I think all that encompasses what you're dealing with today. And I think there's some more input we can even hear from our young people to help address this concern, because it's happening not just in urban Birmingham schools, it's happening in suburban schools across this country and even in this region. So I want to commend you for your leadership, the chairman of public safety for even giving you the platform at Public Safety Committee meeting to talk about this more. This is a concern, because you put a toy in a child's hand, there's no telling what they'll do when they maturate and get older and mature. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Councilor Scales, and then Councilor Hoyt.
Okay. Well, Mr. Matthews, I'm glad you brought it up because I think the public needs to know that a child just a week and a half ago in Cleveland, Ohio, lost their life due to a toy gun. And the unfortunate reality about it is that this child didn't have a chance. When this rookie police officer got out, didn't ask any questions, just shot him down. And it was all because of the fact that someone thought it was a real gun, but then there was some other things. And I know I have to be careful, because children are my Achilles heel, because when they played the dispatch and how certain things weren't communicated properly, it cost this child his life. The bigger thing that I think that plague our community is the fact of the idea that we have no respect for life. And so it doesn't matter if it's a toy gun or if it's a knife, a box cutter, and anything else. We just got to learn how to love one another, and that's in the spirit of everything. Because when I was growing up, you had water guns, you had all kind of guns, and it didn't make me want to go out here and shoot somebody. You understand? But when you're in a society where your average Xbox teach you how to shoot folk while you playing at home on the TV, then that's when you get this mentality that you desensitize. And so when folk die, you don't take it seriously, because this is just, hey, this is what we do on the video. Well, the unfortunate reality is, I'm hoping that that we're going to begin to use social media to really impact these children. I was telling my daughter just a couple of days ago that the unfortunate reality where we are is that young people are not engaged in the process. Everybody want to have fun up front. And because you want to have fun up front, because you say, well, I'm young, I just want to have fun, well, life is passing you by. And it's our young folk who are dying on these streets every day in every part of this country. And then, like I said before, we just got to get these young folk more minded that everything we do in life is serious. All it takes is one decision that will alter your life forever. So with that young man and his family, I think to myself,
Tamir Rice is his name.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about, but I would hate to have been his mother. He went from out there playing in the snow to being shot in the snow. So it's unfortunate, but keep the fight up. That's all I can say. Live to fight another day.
Amen, amen.
Councilor Hoyt?
Yeah, just wanted to commend you, Frank, for coming again this morning and just really raising some pressing issues with respect to our community. But I thought, too, that gun education is something that we need. And I think what Councilor Robertson is doing with our young folk, I think that's an opportunity. You know, when you know better, you do better, you know. And so I want us to look at that, gun education, and get the schools and all involved. And Councilor Robertson, I think that's where we come together and do that and kind of put that program in every school, because and it has to start in those formative years so that they understand. I mean, it's no different than any other place. You know, when you go to Japan, you don't see guns. Okay, matter of fact, if you got one, you're probably gonna get your hand chopped off or something. But we need to start that. I know it's a big gun state, but we got to do something better. And so I appreciate
Mr.
that.
Chairman, quickly, Mr. Bernard gave me ordinance. What you are talking about is actually ordinance. Anyone that have those air rifles and such must be educated. That is the law. His city code 11-6-39. It's already there. So it says anyone that purchased those type of guns should be educated. It's mandated here. It's already the law, just so you know. Thank you, Mr. Bernard.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our speakers. Mr. Clerk, we have one addendum item that we did not take up. It's item 30.
Okay, item 30, a resolution approving the agreement